Everyone, my name is Shivam Thapa, and in this video, I am going to make you feel peaceful at this very moment. So, if you are feeling stressed in your life, you are not getting the right direction, you are misdirected, this video is going to be a life changing for you. And following this advice, you will able to change your life, attain peace. I'm not saying that you will achieve great things. I'm saying that you will achieve peace in your life. And all this information is because of the experiences I have, different things I have done, and above all, the books, different books I have read and applied them. And I just take action and realize that this works. So I'm going to share all those things in this video. So first, let me address the question why we are not satisfied or happy in our life. There can be many answers to this question, and I'll address one by one all the possible answer that can be why we are unhappy in our life. And we'll first see the root cause of why we are unhappy in our life. For this, we should have an understanding of the term called ego. What is ego? So you might have having any meaning in your life about ego, but let me explain you what ego actually is. Ego simply means attachment, identity. So what do you identify yourself? To identify, just think about a moment, pause the video, think about a moment, what do you identify yourself as? You identify yourself as your name, your the person, this body, or your birthplace, your country, as a student, as a person whose job does you're from the company you work for, okay, the business you own, okay, the wife, children you have, okay. So you identify yourself with them. Just think about what do you identify yourself as, okay. So those people, those person who are not having peace or happiness in life currently, what they have done, they have attached, their ego has attached to a identity that is making them feel inferior in any way. Like a 13, 14 years old boy, he's having an inferiority complex. He's saying he's attached an identity that is not good enough, he's not good looking, his voice is not good. These are the identity he's attached to. That possibly is not true, or it may be true, but he has identified himself as like that. So this is the root cause of all problems. What you have identified yourself. If you have identified yourself as something small, something not negative, it may or may not be true, and in most cases it's not true, okay. But it may be true, like yours, genuinely your voice is not good and you identify, everyone said that you are not, your voice is not good, it's very bad voice. Or you you identify yourself as a poor person, a person who don't have anything, okay. So it may or may not be true, okay, and it is just relative things. It's for some person it is subjective things. But the main thing is what you have identified yourself, and you have to be super aware of that. You have to work on it. Just, and I will recommend you to pause this video, take a piece of paper, think about why, just write it down, all the things that you identify yourself, whatever comes to your mind, write everything that are your ego, and you will able to understand out of all those things there will be certain things that are negative. And this is where the problem lies. You identify yourself with negative traits, and obviously we have to make yourself de-identify with this traits or the things, and you give your new identity, okay. That's how you will feel happy and peaceful in life. If you keep identify yourself to this, your ego will keep attaching to this negative things, inferior things, you will feel miserable or not happy. So obviously you need to change this, but the first step is the awareness. We can only change things, but first we have to make yourself aware of the problem, where the problem lies. If you are not able to identify the problem, forget change. You cannot change it. This is the crucial aspect. Once you have identified where you identify yourself, you aware become aware where the negatives I identify myself as. Then the door to uh, this removal of this negative identity start opens. So this first step is the most crucial step. Give as much time in that, write as many things. It may take 2 or 3 days or so many things you write and then identify yourself. And after every negative experience you have, just come home and just write it down why I feel negative, why I identify as. Okay. So you why you're feeling inferior, why you feel said to you are identify yourself something as bad, something negative. You have to first become aware of that. Now the next thing, how to change this. So first there are two more steps now. Now we have to detach ourselves from this negative identity that we have created or we have attached ourselves ego to. Okay, that's the second step. And when we have detached that, it not be easy, very tough, but can be done. Okay, and the third step would be what we'll be doing. We will attach ourselves to a new identity, the positive thing that we want, the peaceful, happy person identity. So second step is, so once you have identified, like you think you are a poor person, you think you are not happy person, you're not cheerful, your voice is not good, you're good not good looking, these are all the identification you have. Just write it down. So you must have gathered some proof I gather. It not just it was a thought and it was being concreted by some proofs. It may be the proof may be very very big proof, okay, or maybe just assumptions or anything, but they are proof, that proof in your mind, not true or true, but they are in your mind. For example, if someone have commented, some your friend or someone has commented that, hey, you have a bad voice, you sound very bad. So you have that proof stored and you it just kept, and maybe you no one else commented, but and that one thing you have stored in your mind, and that is acting as a proof in your mind, and you every new time you come across sounding yourself or listening to yourself or any other thing, then that proof just is acting as a belief in your mind. In this case I've taken that on one proof. Maybe in reality, like if you are not, you don't own a big house or you don't have things with you, so these are the proof that you are poor. So these are the proof that you are poor, where you are, and you have an identity now, and constantly the reality is there that is making you see that yes, these are the proof that I'm poor. Okay, you don't have to, and you have make an identity in your mind. You're poor outside, you're poor inside, and that is a big problem. Okay, now you can clearly differentiate here. One type of proofs are just may not be true. Someone just commented, your friend was there and he just said that you are a bad voice, you don't sound good. That was his opinion. It may not be true, but you accepted that. Okay, so this is a one kind of thing, and that is actually easy to change because it was not a very it was a subjective thing, or maybe not true. We may be joking. Okay, but the second category is actually this is a truth, and you have so many proof. The reality is there. Okay, so this is actually the hard part because it is not just psychological. Here it is the physical too. The reality is also there. Okay, but the first case was it was not the physical, the reality one. That was just That was just in your mind. Okay. So for changing the first case, it's easy. So let us read this first. So first case, what you have to do, like the you as I take an example of the bad voice thing. You just look in your past. When was the last? You have to think deeper from the beginning, from the childhood. Think when was the first time someone commented on your voice, or when you was the first time you said realize that your voice is not good. Okay, or maybe you're not good looking, someone has said that, and you just saw something that you said that I'm not good looking. So those are the someone commented, somewhat so disgust. Okay, you have to go to that point in your mind, that thought. So how do doctor treat a wound, or uh, take out a injury or a extra internal uh, disease? How they cure that? Okay, or they do surgery, they open the wound. It's not that they just without opening the wound they cannot treat it. Similarly, if you want to uh, fix this, the psychological thing, okay, the proof, psychological proof that you have gathered, you have to open that wound, you have to go at that point, recall that moment. Okay, then when you recall that, you have to understand that what it was just a opinion, it is in your mind, and that was past, and it is gone, and it is not true at all. You have to just address that. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. Then it you are neutralize that, because you have just realized that was just past, someone opinion, may not be true, it may be true then, but now you have evolved. Okay, now this person is gone, the past is over. The past, the thing is just in your mind, that it is not the reality anymore. So once you do that couple of days, couple of times, you will neutralize that. Okay, and now you have to fill with a new identity of yours. Okay, but in the second case I mentioned, when the reality is also there, the poorness or is there, or maybe you are genuinely had not a good voice. Okay, you are, maybe you really sound very hoarse. Then in that case you have to, first of all, two things can be done here, that you accept your situation. This is the thing you have to do. You have to accept your situation. Like, you say I have a bad voice. Okay, I have a bad voice, I accept it. So what? I have a bad voice, I accept it. Okay, you don't care about people. Like, people think you have a bad voice. Okay, what you can do, I have a bad voice. So what I can do, I have, you invented your voice, created your voice. You have a bad voice now. You haven't created it. It is a bad voice, God has given it. The thing you can have done, something you have done, okay, that you can take the responsibility. Like, I have, you have some the mistake or crime you have done, then you can be blamed. But you have a bad voice, and you cannot blame for yourself for that, because it's not you who have given this bad voice, but the current reality, the poorness. You're born, if you're born poor, okay, was that your fault? Not at all. It was not your fault. So you have to just accept it, that it is not my fault, it is what I have got. It is not my fault. When you accept this, then you are not looking for validation from others, first of all, because you accepted it. Now, anyone say anything, you don't care, because you accepted it is a bad voice, not for my fault. So you can live peacefully with it. And now you can think of improving. Okay, if there is chances of, like, in case of you being poor, now you accepted I'm poor, that God had given me this is not my problem at all. Now you, when you accepted it, you will, and the first case, when you have neutralized the situation in the past, in both cases you will imagine a scenario or identity of you, okay, who's happy. who's peaceful, who has a good voice. You have to identify you. Imagine yourself speaking good. Imagine yourself as a rich person who is rich, who is having all the joy. Just imagine it, feel it. I'm not saying that you want at the moment you become get all the things, but at least you can think, pretend to be the person who is rich. How do the feeling part, the feeling you can imagine. How do, if I was a person, I am the person, not if I was, I am the person who is rich, how I feel. If I'm the person who has a good voice, how do I feel? If I'm the person who's good looking, how do I feel? Just feel the part. Just feel the part as many times. Just visualize, write it down. The feel it. Feeling is the key. When you feel, for that moment at least, you have shifted your identity. You have shifted your identity for the moment when you have felt that feeling of being a rich person, of being a good voice person, good looking person, or whatever. You have got that feeling, and that you shifted your identity to that person for us, for mere few seconds, but at least few seconds. You have shifted your identity, and now what you have to do? You have to keep practicing this, and also you have to bring proof now. Okay, so now if from being a poor person, you have have this feeling. Now, if you work hard, you get money, have in your account, just accumulate it, just buy thing, and you feel I have that money. This is a proof that I'm not poor. I'm a rich person now. You have the proofs, and you keep giving yourself proof. The more money you acquire, the more salary you have, more saving you have. This is a proof, and for a good voice person, you just improve your voice. The rules for the techniques available, you work on it. Good looking person, you dress well, groom well, and you have the you do exercises, then this is the proof. So two things will work. Identify, imagine yourself being the person, the want you, the feeling that will you'll get when you have the you will become this person, you are the person at the moment, have a feeling, and look for the proof, and it will take work. Hard work is there to bring the proof. If you get as many proof as possible, you start the identity, you just that come for a few seconds, so it will become starting become permanent. And when you have become permanent, automatically you will be happy, peaceful with life. It's all about the belief. So I hope that you are able to understand how can we change our internal mindset of belief. And first, the steps are, I just repeat it. First, you have to identify what your negative beliefs are, the ego, attachment that are negative, may be true, maybe psychological, maybe real. When you identify that, then you have to neutralize it, go to the source where it was created, or accept it if it is true. Really, really true, you have to accept it. It's not your fault, it was given by God. When you have just third step is imagine you being the person that has the thing that you are. Okay, imagine the feeling, and then look for proof in real life by taking the action. And that's how you create. And this is the law of attraction, actually. I hope you find this video helpful. If you find this video helpful, do subscribe to my channel. And you feel free to comment on what part you like, you don't like about this video, anything you find not right in the video, and how can I improve my content. Okay, and thanks for watching.